Welcome to another episode of Middle Ground with L.L.C, where we treat you like family. That is the theme song, Detroit Love, off my first album, The JLE Experience. I own the music and copyright. Facebook don't mute nothing. Got another awesome guest for you today. We have the founder, former Fortune 500 executive, and business consultant. Make sure I say your name right. Enrico Biscaro. I said it right?
Perfect.
Awesome. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and thanks for inviting me. It's really a pleasure.
I appreciate you. First question, what led you to this path?
Oh, it's been a path that started many years ago, and
Okay.
you'll be maybe surprised, but this path started in a train station. Actually,
Okay.
um, I'm from Italy. I don't live far from Venice. This is very close. So when I was a kid with my parents, we like to go to Venice and take the train to go to Venice. And before Venice, there's a station, and a lot of young traveler passed through that station, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I remember very vividly when I was there with my parents, and I was seeing all the folks with their backpack and happy and smiling. And I remember telling my mom, when I grow up, I want to travel the world. That's what I want to do, because I want to meet people from different places, different culture, and
Mm-hmm.
so that was my epiphany. Like, and
Okay.
yeah, I was probably 13 or 14, or maybe that age. um, and everything I did after was to travel the world, and I've been quite successful in that, if you will,
Okay.
because I've been living in about about 12, 13 countries, and
Wow, that's awesome.
I work in about, regularly, like about 34 continents, I guess actually five now, because I'm Latin America. I guess the only continent I've not worked is Antarctica, but you need to be a scientist to go there, so I don't think I will hit that continent. But the other five are pretty much ticked off. Yeah, so that's where my journey started, in a train station, looking at people traveling.
That's awesome. Okay, now, and by just looking on your LinkedIn to see that you're a former Fortune 500 exec, which is awesome insight you have. What were your duties in that role?
In that role, my duty was, as you know, big corporation, um, doing the shareholder, increasing the shareholder values, right? But in reality, uh, I think that what I wanted to do that, right? I think
Huh?
that's a good thing, but I've always done this through the team, through the people. I work for a very good company, and they've always treated me well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a fantastic career with them, and but really, my task was to achieve our goals through the people that were working with us, right? And back to traveling and back to the culture, etc. My purpose was really to um, improve the life of the people where our company was present.
Okay.
Giving opportunities to people that maybe did not think they had one. And being in the energy industry, it's important, because in the end, there's a lot of, and we can discuss forever about, the problem with the industry, and the
Mm-hmm.
pollution, the warming, etc. But in the end, You need your fridge going, your AC going, your heating in winter in
Yes.
Detroit. I hear it's a bit
Uh-huh.
cold. I hear in Detroit. It can be very
Oh
cold. So
man.
so
Absolutely.
you need that. So really, the you know the shareholder value for me was a second thought. For me, two things were important: that we as a company contributed to providing reliable, safe energy to as many people as we could, but also because I could, you heard about this fear of influence. So I could influence maybe 5 people at the time, 10 people. My biggest team was in total about 600 people. And you want to influence positively those people, right? And those people that um, were not born in Italy, that I never met before. They have a culture different than mine, helping them become their best self, while at the
Okay.
same time, I was learning a lot from them too. So I think the purpose
Give and
was
take.
also to create value, but also to learn from people.
Okay. That's great. What made you walk away?
Ah, in this world things happen, and we parted ways with the company.
Hmm.
So this happened about a year ago, but that's okay. This is what happened in life, and that's absolutely fine. I am now working as a consultant in Latin America, where I can still help young people here. That maybe if I was not here, they would not be exposed to a certain culture, like
Absolutely.
I bring to the table. And so I think I am continuing to support young people, young professionals, to become their best version of themselves. I'm doing it at a much smaller scale, but that's still my purpose.
Okay. I mean, with a wealth of knowledge from being in that role, you pivot to a business consultant, and I guess for if someone never really understood, what does a business consultant do?
you know um and I've just started this path, right? Because if I say a
Okay.
business consultant is it can mean everything, it can mean nothing. I've just started on this journey.
Hmm.
I am lucky here in the position I am. I'm working here in Guyana with a company called Nexus Machine Tech. That they're really generous, and um, they decided to want me here for the experience that I had. So I guess a business consultant, what it does, it helps accelerate smaller reality, or reality that maybe they cannot afford a big organization with big hierarchy, and they cannot afford that, but they can afford a person that can bring that mentality and the culture in their organization for a fraction of the cost.
Okay. We got another person. Karen says wise words, Enrico.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
because I
you, Karen.
mean, the fact that you was in that arena, that's a lot of knowledge and game you got from being in that role to pass down. That's invaluable. Dang, we kind of ran through those questions. So, do you have anything you want to promote?
Not really, not at the moment. As I said, I just started my journey. So I will have something to promote, but it's still not vague. There's a very clear plan. There's a very clear pathway. My passion is coaching and mentoring young leaders. I think there's a lot of if you have seen some of my posts, or you follow me on LinkedIn, I think there's a lot of anxiety in the workplace, a lot of
Yes.
resentment,
Yes.
and everybody always point the finger to bad manager or bad bosses or bad this, bad that. But I think as a leader, I've always looked inside, never outside. As a leader, you are accountable for what happened, and I think that it's very important to recognize that a lot of people get in the position where they lead other people because they're very good at what they're doing.
Okay.
And there's no doubt about that. But you do need some guidance in switching from be very good at what you do.
Mm-hmm.
So from what you do to how do I achieve things through others. It's two complete different games. Like it's like,
Okay.
Michael Jordan was very good at basketball. He went and played baseball. Yeah,
Yeah,
not
he
so.
wasn't that great.
Um,
Absolutely.
and so these people, they need support, they need training, they need coaching, they need guidance. And that's where I want to go. That's where I will go. That's where I will really, at one point, very soon, I will say, hey, you need help with your managers. You need the help with the leadership. Um, you know, you don't need to spend again, hundreds of thousands of dollars. You
Mm-hmm.
can use my experience and my knowledge to accelerate the learning of these people. And I really like basketball. Detroit Piston, Isaiah Thomas at the back in the time, they won a few
Yes,
NBA
sir.
championships.
Yes, sir.
They,
Great
they, they
talent.
won they won a few NBA championship, and they're very, very good at that. But all these big players that you see, they all have a coach behind them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They would not be where they are without a coach. A coach, what it does, it just accelerate your growth and really brings out the best of yourself. So that's what I hope I'll be able to do very soon.
Okay. We got a question from good friend Karen. Can you give us an example of how you help young people within the organization?
You see, I think that you know uh, growing is like crossing the Grand Canyon,
Okay.
right? Or crossing a canyon. Imagine a
Mm-hmm.
canyon with a big river. Maybe the river's got crocodiles or
Mm-hmm.
danger, fast current. And what young people do, they usually say, okay, I need to go here from there, and I'm gonna climb down, then swim across the river, climb up, and that's always difficult, takes a long time. What I do, I build a bridge between the
Okay.
two sides, right? And a bridge has got pillars, and so I work on a few pillars. And very briefly, these pillars are, people follow leaders. People need to follow leaders, right? and
Mm-hmm.
and something that we all follow is a brand. We buy Apple, Nike, Adidas, Mercedes brand. So a leader needs to have a brand, and people don't realize that, and they just go in and they do stuff. And so I help young leader building their brand, so then people recognize the brand and they can follow the leader. Another very important thing is that I'm really, really passionate about is accountability. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, everybody, including me, I'm not casting the first stone here, right? Let's be very
Mm-hmm.
clear about that. But it's always very busy to do this. Yeah. Sorry, where's my camera?
Yeah.
Pointing the
Right.
finger.
Yeah.
Pointing finger is very easy. There's always somebody else. It's always somebody else's fault. And I think young leaders need to understand that unless they are fully accountable for
Mm-hmm.
what happens in their life and to their team, they cannot be successful. Right? These are a couple of things. I hope I answered your question. I don't want to give away everything, because
Oh no. Absolutely.
otherwise, my next post and my first video is not going to be a mystery anymore. But so I give you a couple of things. I help with creating a brand, which it's a bit like the why in Simon Sinek, and
Mm-hmm.
accountability. That's, to me, it's the first two things that you need to have to become a successful leader.
That's pretty awesome. And she says, build a brand, be recognized, so people will follow. She agrees with
That's a
you.
perfect summary of what I said in so many words. As usual, I like to talk. I'm sorry.
You all right? This show about you, man. I'm trying to get all this game out of you because you know a lot. Try to help whoever want to go into the fields you're in or been in. They get a snapshot of what it's like. Now, I guess a question for a leader: what's something they can do to create a good culture?
Well, that's a fantastic question. You know, there's culture everywhere. Everybody's talking. Everybody is talking about culture in the workplace. It's, it's big topic, etc. I have one word for you:
Okay,
serve.
serve.
The word is serve. I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Be at service, right? And I learned this again as a young children when I was in the Boy Scouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Eh, I've always seen these young kids. I was like 6, 7, and I had teenager 15, 16 coming to summer camp to make me laugh and make me play, and said, "Wow, this guy, for sure, they want to go to the beach with their friends. Why do they come here to basically, you
Uh-huh.
know, and well, not entertain me, but yeah, but to be with me, and and I understood that they were doing it because they were serving me, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then, of course, when I saw that, when I understood that, I said, "Oh, I want to do the same thing for when I grow up." And I did it for many years in the scout, but then I brought this spirit of service in my teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one episode. I work in different culture, and I work in China a lot, and in Asia, where the culture is very hierarchical. There's this senior
Mm-hmm.
person, the boss, and he's untouchable. And I was in this workshop, and I said, you know I just started in China, and I said, one thing I want to make very clear, um, that I work for you, you don't work for me, right? And I truly believe this when I said that. And of course, you can believe me here or not. You never met me, so we have not built that trust. But that's how I operated, and that's why I was successful. Because when people understand that you're really there to support them, to
Mm-hmm.
take the best of them, to provide them with the resources to be successful, you will create a culture, right, where
Mm-hmm.
everybody helps each other. Because in the end, trust me, no matter where you're from, no matter where you live, um,
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to win. Nobody likes to lose, right? and
Nah.
and if you go in with that spirit, and I go back to accountability, two things I say: look, I don't work you don't work for me, I work for you,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you say, and whatever happened, I'm accountable. People will move mountain for you. I guarantee you that. And this might seem counterintuitive, but try it once and you will see.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. That's some great knowledge right there, man. Um, Now, what motivates you to post your leadership advice daily? And I have seen some. It's pretty awesome.
um this is a very selfish motivation, if you will. And I will not
Okay.
try to make it different. I would like uh to I would like people to associate my presence on LinkedIn with someone that um, knows a thing or two about leadership, because he has experienced them and he made a lot of mistakes and is willing to share them, so other people don't do those mistakes. And of course, as I said, because eventually I will want to offer my services, of course, I think it's important to build trust, and I'm trying to build that trust through LinkedIn, which is the platform where professionals and
Yes.
people that loves to talk about leadership and culture in the workspace, they hang there. So that's why I post there, and I don't post on other places.
Okay. That's hey. In today's world, getting a lot of people want to be an entrepreneur or move up the corporate ladder more. That information is invaluable because you need to be the best leader you can be in whatever role you are. I was talking with someone the other day, and some people don't really understand. Be the best you can be at whatever job. If you're a custodian, you're the mail person, or whatever, or the fryer, be the best at it. People are watching you
Absolutely.
all the time. And if you're doing the best at that smaller role, God to elevate you to something where you really want to be, and you appreciate it. You want to get up there and turn into a demon with it. Like, oh, it's all mine. I'm treating everybody bad. Like, this ain't how you supposed to act when you get here. You supposed to share the love,
No,
not lose your
absolutely.
love. You know, so this is great stuff.
And
Um,
and
Go ahead.
well, just let me say this, and being the best at what you do, sometimes is not enough,
Hmm.
right? And and you need to recognize that, because there's a lot of people there that work very, very hard, and they have a lot of passion, and they pour themselves into that. But that's not always enough. And I go back to the first pillar, build your brand, be known for something. And especially, and I posted this the other day, it's very important to be humble, but humility does not mean that you cannot recognize your value. So if you are a value to someone or to somebody, it's okay to recognize it.
That's true. It ain't bragging if it's true.
Correct. Bragging, nobody likes that, and I'm not saying that you go around bragging, but be conscious of your strength
Hmm.
as well as your limitation. And
Hmm.
that's the difference between a person that just does her job, very good job, but sees only that, right? You need to see your strength and your limitation, and that will differentiate you.
Okay. Awesome stuff. What has been your biggest challenge on your journey?
you know um isn't a lot of people, when I say that I traveled a lot, and and I've seen a lot of places, and I live in many countries, they say, wow, it, it's fantastic, it's a great life, etc. And it is, don't get me wrong, but the challenge is sometimes you need to move, and you put some roots, and you met some good people, and you have a family. It's not always easy to move around, um, and so those have been my biggest challenges. A couple of times I was in a position for only 4 months, 6 months, and then you had to move from Europe to Asia, or from
Oh, moving is
from
a lot.
Middle East to Europe. And so those very short period where you cannot really make an impact, and then you have to uproot yourself again, those were the
Hmm.
most challenging times.
Okay. What has been your impact on your journey?
I think you know and it's a bit difficult to say, because I don't want to say things for other people, but I know for a fact that I helped some people getting the promotion that they wanted.
Okay.
I helped some people getting the job they wanted in the company they wanted. I supported them, and I helped them achieving their goal, their dreams. Sometimes, So that has been my impact. My impact has been influencing a few people that started as young leader, a young manager, young professional, and help
Mhm.
them grow and achieve their career dream.
That's awesome, bro. Now, now I know you said when you was at the train station, you wanted to do what you saw other people do. Do you feel you achieved that goal so far?
Oh, absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. Because as I said, um, I did travel the world. I'm have not finished by any means.
Mhm.
I'm still doing that. And while traveling the world, I certainly impacted the people that work around me, and I do believe most of the impact was positive. I cannot say I got 100%, but I think that most of my impact in my workplace was certainly positive.
Okay. Now, I almost forgot with your awesome website going across, what can people that want to work with you find on your website?
Well, my website is just a small windows in what in things to come, right?
Okay.
I just started a newsletter. If you would like to subscribe, and on LinkedIn you have to post, and it's short, and you try to get the attention, and people are scrolling, so you need to be short and sweet, as they say.
Yeah.
But in the newsletter, I'm trying to expand some of my thoughts around leadership and my experience. So I think it's a good place where to start and know me a bit better. And then as I progress in my journey, I'm gonna have more and more material that is gonna be
Okay.
coming. A big material is coming in at the end of January.
Awesome.
And so check it out and stay up to date. Follow me on LinkedIn if you are not following me already. And yeah, that's my 5-second advertisement there. Oh, LinkedIn.
Awesome. I'll make sure to put your LinkedIn once I create the whole episode and post it.
Yeah.
And last question, what advice do you have for someone trying to find their purpose?
So the advice I have is your purpose will not just pop in front of your eyes.
Hmm.
Look for it. Reflect on what your values are. Reflect on what you're good at. Reflect what the people around you uh, need you for. And at the intersection of these three things, you will find your purpose.
Okay. That's awesome. I hope you had awesome time on here sharing your awesome journey, brother.
I love that, Jeffrey, and I will certainly hit you up on LinkedIn. I want to have the link to your music, and I will certainly. I am now curious to know you better, because you seem to have a fantastic things going on too.
Yeah, I'm trying to get it cracking the way I need to go. Be obedient.
Well, as I said, you have a new fan from today for sure.
Hey, you found me now. You always welcome back on the show, brother. Whenever
No
you want to
problem.
come back.
Yeah, maybe when I can really have something to advertise, but until then, I really enjoy the conversation. And as I said, I am looking forward to know you a bit better.
Yeah, I'll send you the link to my music once I'm done with all this. I want to
Yeah.
close out the right way. Want to thank awesome guest, founder, former Fortune 500 executive, business consultant, Enrico Biscaro, for sharing his advice and wisdom. Go do business with him if you want to learn and coach yourself up with business consulting. He got some life game to give you like Yoda.
Yeah.
And it'll help you out.
Absolutely.
And I hope everybody have an awesome weekend. Until next time.
Till next time. Bye, Jeffrey. Thanks, everybody, for listening in. Bye-bye.